Would you still have love for me, girl? I hope it's easy to love me now. Would you love me if I was down? If I fell off tomorrow, would you still love me? If I didn't smell so good, would you still hug me? If I got locked up and sentenced to a quarter century, could I count on you to be there to support me mentally? If I went back to a hoopty from a bed, would you poof and disappear like some of my friends? If I was hit and I was hurt, would you be by my side? If it was time to put in work, would you be down to ride? Should I get out and kill a cap, chill, and drive? I'm asking questions to find out how you feel inside. If I ain't rap because I flip burgers at Burger King, would you be ashamed to tell your friends you was feeling me? In the bed, if I use my tongue, would you like that? If I wrote you a love letter, would you write back? We could have a little drink, a nightcap. Or we could go do what you like. I know you like that, like that. And out, would you still have love for me? Nope. She wouldn't. I think I ended up playing chess on YouTube. Just kidding. All women are loyal, especially young women who grew up on social media where the grass is always greener. A lot of wisdom in the rap game. I can say that I tried and couldn't reach the level, but I'm out on a high and I can see the level. I'm flying over stars, it's like I need the level. I guess I'ma keep trying until I reach. Because AI is going to take all tech jobs anyway. This is just as stable as a corporate career with a 401k. Look. What was it, E flat? The chords are in Spanish. Marky Basie is the most underrated artist. Can't even find his chords sometimes in English. Which he doesn't speak Spanish, nor is he Mexican, so I don't really have any idea why it's doing this to me right now. I'm just lost. Why it would come up in Spanish. Check this out. I bet it works. Dan, you didn't work in tech. You're just full of shit trying to get views on YouTube. No. It's just a parameter in the URL. A lot of stuff isn't that complicated. It's as simple as a parameter in the URL. You could change it on your own. EN, what's this? Since I know that works, FR is probably French. I'm a magician. What was it for Spanish? Were they using ES? Is that? Okay, so they only have Spanish and English. Yeah, just change that little deal there. But don't be cynical. Cybersecurity is complicated, but we're all safe. Sure we are. Sometimes it's just a fucking parameter in the URL. Yeah, it's startups, Dane. That's startups who don't have a technical expert. No, everywhere. Fortune 500, Fortune 1. Hacking is just glorified troubleshooting. Give someone a little less competent than me a little bit of access, they can ruin everything. I mean, no, that's what I mean. Ignorance is bliss. Here we go. Look. I just want you satisfied. I know your potential and I know what you'll get into. Be with you every Friday night. Stick with me, I promise you. You know I got the spark for you, baby. I've been falling, going, and it's my time. Don't be stalling me, don't fight it. Gotta get up, I got it, I'm all going. I could settle, but I gotta go. I can say that I tried and couldn't reach the level, but I'm out on a high and I can see the level. Oh, flying over stars, it's like I need the level. I guess I'ma keep trying until I reach the level. You'll never make it. Fernando Mendoza is a national champion, Mr. Two-Star recruit. Nobody wanted him, not even Miami. His hometown. Karma's a bitch. Go enjoy your 5-star Carson Beck. I actually like Carson Beck fine. I don't mean that personal. I'm not being hateful. I'm just telling jokes on YouTube. Fernando Mendoza's got it figured out. What's his secret? 2-star recruit, national champion. Probably going to be a first overall pick or close to it. No girls. No girls. Girls get in the way. Ladies, men get in the way. You didn't let me finish. Men get in the way. Some loneliness is necessary for success. So, chase your dreams. I happen to dream of a career as a lonely, isolated warrior. Hashtag late blooming chess prodigy. That's what we're going to do. Oh, shit. Why is it? Same dream, different night. Trying to get a grip on my reflection, but I slip and I still hope you know I'm on the line. You can always reach me even when I'm at your reaching, oh yeah. I'ma fall in and go all in and start trying. Don't be stalling me, don't fight it. I'ma get up, I got it, I'm all going. I would stay, but I gotta grow. I can say that I tried and couldn't reach the level, but I'm out on a high and I can see the level. I'm flying over stars, it's like I need the level. I guess I'ma keep trying until I reach the level. It's Marky Basie's lyrics. Wonderful. I wrote a LinkedIn post. An author, a chess player, I'm a musician. I deal cards. I do it all. Or maybe I'm just a little bit manic. I think I'm better than I am at stuff. As you can tell by my LinkedIn profile, I have my life figured out. Guitarist by morning, chess athlete by day, table games dealer by night. Gosh darn it. ChatGPT couldn't have wrote that better or more accurately. I mean it. I also mean this. I could have really used some help during COVID lockdown. Is he genuine? Is he an asshole? Your life has no value. I'm not even going to play the clips. Your life has no value. If you're not a grandmaster and you've spent your life in chess, that's Eric Rose and that's Levy Rosman who made videos about this guy. And there are levels to chess. That's why I started with this song. Anna Cranling off, and she seems very nice, by the way. Anna seems nice and very inclusive. Still, I want nothing to do with her or any of them. Offering to play Tyler when he reaches 2,000, like that's some accomplishment. The more I've played online, the more I think it's a complete scam. And there are tears. There are tears. People who don't want to think much assume, oh, well, if that person gained 50 points and another person gained 50 points, they probably got about equally better at their skill, chess in this case. No, it gets much more difficult to acquire even one rating point as we get higher. Tyler got to 1960. It's an absolute scam. He's no good. Then I don't care anything about him. I'm going to quit wasting my time on this stuff. In fact, I might even delete this post because I need to quit running my mouth. I'm getting older and eventually my brain won't be able to keep up with the children.
But for the next 5 weeks, I'm going to get super deliberate with reading, with studying Grandmaster games. I'm not going to play any online chess. I might never again. We'll see how I feel after those 5 weeks. I'm going to attend Sunday rated games at the club, which is over the board, what I call real chess, where people who are trained and actually want to compete to get better at real chess do so. It's not online where you can catch a master distracted, get cheap rating points, possibly catch a cheater and lose them just as fast. It's real chess. For 5 weeks, while I'm in craps dealing school, I'm learning to deal craps. I dealt cards because I didn't get a reply on my applications during COVID. And nothing Hans Niemann has said is half as hateful as Tyler One is toward the best chess athletes on the planet. And they kissed his ass and they kissed his ass and they kissed his ass. And like Fernando Mendoza, the Heisman Trophy winner, national champion, states, all you need is one person to believe in you. And in chess, or in some pursuits, you don't need anyone to believe in you. I showed up. I moved here. I got a job to prove income because no one helped me. And I get it. It was COVID. I'm just a number, one application of many. But then watching Tyler One and what they did to Hans Niemann, and I just don't want anything to do with him. I don't dislike him. Unfortunately, all my games are logged on chess.com. So I'm not going to start over. I can never learn chess from scratch again. Otherwise, I probably would have started on Lead Chess or just played at the club. But here we are. It's a good app if you don't live near a chess club. And karma's a bitch. I can sing well enough, play instruments well enough to entertain and incorporate music, comedy. Worked in tech for 4 years. So in any editing I need to do for videos is totally fine. More than enough competence on my own to do a pretty good YouTube channel that is more relatable to mainstream. And I've documented my journey. Since I don't care to be a streamer, in fact, the best kids in America, and America is not the number one chess country, especially with youth. But there are some kids, I think Andy Woodward is, I don't think he can drive yet. If he can, he's 16. He's a grandmaster. And there are many more who are international masters or masters. There are 10-year-olds that are masters these days. And if I can't, even tired, even while working and raising a dog, which is a huge disadvantage compared to kids who can do puzzles all day, and while their parents drive them to school, to chess, they can read, they can play on their phones. I can't do that. But even with the disadvantages, if I can't get to like 2,000, I should quit. I should really quit. And that's a big reason I'm not going to play online chess much, if at all, going forward. It's not online chess's fault, but the brains who might figure it out at an older age are also the brains that are at risk of developing addictions, can't stop thinking about chess. And online, I'm telling you, I'll play one blitz game or get my phone out, download chess.com to friend request an acquaintance I played over the board last week, and all of a sudden, 20 games later, I'm late for my over the board game while I'm sitting downstairs at the club because I can't stop playing. It's that bad. And I'll blow 2 pawns in the opening. It's my fault, but I've got to stop doing that. And since my online numbers are very respectable, twice what most, if grandmasters saw my channel, the more pessimistic ones would have expected someone like me to stop at 1,200 online, and I'm 1,600, low 1,600s over the board, with no opening repertoire, by the way. But since I don't want to be a streamer, and my whole content pursuit is contingent upon me getting very strong at chess, I will quit if I somehow fizzle out around 1,800 over the board, which 1,800 is anyone can reach 1,800 given enough persistence and a little bit of IQ. It's a good player. But if I just somehow plateau and just never figure it out past then, I'll just delete my content. be a normal person. I don't want to be a streamer, even if you think I'm funny or handsome or any of the components necessary to make it as a YouTuber. I'll just quit if I can't get past 1,800 over the board without a lot of trouble. My YouTube lives are where I documented most of my online play, or at least enough of my online games to prove I'm absolutely not cheating. I've played ridiculous amounts of games on chess.com. And if you want to accuse me of cheating, if Kramnik wants to go crazy and try to kill another American, I'm going to add him to the lawsuit. Fuck you, dude. Just acknowledge that you might have played a small role in Narodisky's overdose. Shut the fuck up. Quit talking about his family. They should have saw the warrant. Leave him alone. You're a fucking idiot. See, I might not last in chess because I can't keep my mouth shut. You killed, what's his mom's name is Elena Narodisky. You got to put a name. When people are that big of assholes, you got to put names to it. It's Daniel. It's his mom's name. I think Daniel's father's name is Vladimir. Yeah, and then maybe it'll wake him up a little bit to stop being just a complete idiot. Not to say Daniel might not have had other things going on, or anyone who passes suddenly didn't have other things on his or her mind, but just acknowledge that the cheating accusations from his idol might have played a role in the stress. Not blaming you entirely. Just don't be a dumbass. For some people so smart, it's amazing how I don't know who Kramnik's idol was. I don't know who was big in Russia at that time. I guess I don't know if there was really a superpower that was the generation above Gary Kasparov. But like, what if he did that to you, or someone that taught you? One day turns. I mean, they just can't even do that in their head. It's like basic math to most people, and they can't figure out that, hey, Daniel looked up to me. He's got my autograph. I played him when he was a kid, and it was a big deal to him and his family. I remember that now. I remember meeting him then, and maybe I'm a dickhead. I don't want to be around it. But enough documentation on my YouTube lives that I'm absolutely not cheating. You look at my spirals, see kind of how I play, how I overcame each what I call tier of chess. There are levels to chess. And accuse me of cheating too. I really don't care after seeing someone just die. And that was the streamer I watched the most was Narodisky. When I was learning, I guess I just don't really care about much when it comes to chess, except for my over the board rating. And on my YouTube, while I was learning, I did episodes where I mixed popular music, skits, voiceovers on my Bluetooth piano. And I would play one chess game usually. And that would kind of show me going from like 1,100, I think is when I started, between 1,000 and 1,100. And when I stopped doing those, I don't know if I was 1,500. I think I didn't hit 1,500 until I moved to St. Louis. But it shows me at least learning the very basics. And from there, I moved to St. Louis, I guess in hopes to be kind of what Emily plays chess. Jules Gambit, though she's actually pretty strong. But chess influencers were, or some chess job that wasn't a player. And then they defamed Hans Niemann. And I mean, I'm not an angel, but we are in America, and America should take care of our own, just like India takes care of their own, or they're going to beat the shit out of us. India and other strong chess countries are looking over at Hans Niemann saying, hey, I don't know if we like him or not, if he's guilty or not, but I know our country errs on the side of us and our athletes. And if America doesn't, I'm ready to kill them. You're just giving other countries, just making them just chomp at the bit to kill America. And mainstream doesn't care about Magnus Carlsen. I know I don't want to play him anymore. That was my whole YouTube concept, was for one game. Once I'm trained, I might get lucky. And I will not play Hans Niemann. I'm a winner. Okay, well, I'm a loser. So there went that dream, asshole. Fuck you. Thank you, Pikachu, for joining. Appreciate that. Where I asked my friend, what's the game that I can play while shitting? And he said chess. And here I am, 1900, just playing while pooping. There's actually a fabulous piece of content about that. think it was on their Instagram. What was it, like poop toilet elo? Well, no, it was probably my favorite piece of chess content, actually. And I don't watch them a whole lot because though they are strong, if anything, I would watch their streams. I don't watch their funny content. That might be kind of what they're known for. But it's still my favorite piece of chess content. Toilet elo, chess bra. Is that what it was? No. This is great. It's quality. This is quality. I like a good chess joke. What can I say? That's obviously exaggerated, but it doesn't matter. Like I have a soundproof chess training phone. If you've never watched my videos, it's a snap cab from Steelcase. I sat in something similar when I was in corporate tech, and I got really sad during COVID lockdown when I thought I might never get to sit in one of these again. It was my happy place because for the first time in my life, there was a device that allowed me to be social while also being introverted. He's just hiding from the team. We need to fire his ass. What good is he? No, bitch. I'm focusing on my work. If you'd like me to step out, just knock. Oh, he's a team player. Look how conscientious he is. Wow. So I ordered one. Hey, the world was ending in 2020. Let's just do it. But with the cheating accusations, that silly short from Adam of the Chess Bros, it's Adam and Eric, it makes a good point. Of course, if there's a 1,000 to 2,800 fluctuation, that's suspicious. I look like Adam. I've never got that I look like Adam Sandler. That's interesting. I guess you haven't even seen me without my stocking cap and stuff, but do I still look like Adam Sandler? I think he's cool. Thanks. But like I just got addicted to, I couldn't even drive to the gas station or walk there. I could walk to the gas station, driving or walking, without, literally I would pull my car over at Five Guys, which is in between my apartment and the gas station I can walk to play a chess game or do a puzzle. I couldn't even make it that far sometimes. That's how bad it got. So if I'm playing in that state where I haven't slept in days, I'm just literally dependent on chess. Driving to a tournament, and I would have to leave early because I had to pull my car over to the side of the highway to play a chess game. I was that addicted, and I could barely make it through the whole over the board game without playing online. The only thing that kept me from pulling out my phone over the board is that's cheating to have your phone out. I was that addicted because it's all I did during COVID lockdown after I had a job reviewing and debugging code in big tech. So COVID lockdown, I'm the type of, okay, well, this is my job. Let's just get good at it. Let's keep doing it. And when that was ripped away from me, I turned to online chess, and I just got the same mindset toward that, and I became unhealthy. But that mode versus when I've slept and I'm actually preparing, playing one game every hour, let's say, I'm a complete, that's 200, 300 rating points difference in ability because I'm rested, I'm focused. That doesn't mean I'm cheating. It just means I have a problem. And a lot of people struggle with online gaming in general. So you can't just accuse people of cheating like Kramnik was. I listened to I think the guy's name is Jamie Dimon. He's the CEO. Yeah, good way to put it, Pikachu. Are you familiar with Raichu? No, because you can't evolve without help. Get it? Are you laughing? What's the stone that Pikachu requires to evolve into Raichu? Pikachu evolve. Is the Thunderstone? Yeah, it's a Thunderstone. No, on the bright side, you don't have to be at a certain level to evolve, so that's exciting. Do you need me to find a Thunderstone for you? I'm pretty good at Pokemon, especially the versions before Emerald. I fucked up the Elite Four and all those. First try. I do love Pokemon. I was a closet gamer as a kid. Yu-Gi-Oh! I had the wristbands, Beyblades. I spun some Beyblades back in my day. I didn't just watch the Pokemon series. I watched. I think there was a video about Mewtwo, or at least where Mew and Mewtwo were the stars of it. Maybe they called it Mewtwo. I don't remember. I remember watching it. The legendary bird Pokemon. Again, I don't remember the movie. I remember, Zapdos, Moltres, Articuno, and who was there? I think it's a similar concept to Rayquaza, where there are several legendary Pokemon of each element. But then there is a final one who is slightly stronger than all of them. I think it's kind of like that. It was Moltres, Articuno, Zapdos, and who is that bastard? I don't remember. Do you remember Pikachu? No. There's a fourth one. Who's the fourth bird? I know I captured that shit. With how elite I was at Pokemon as a kid, I probably used an Ultra Ball instead of a Master Ball to capture it. Not to brag or anything. Zapdos and I'm gonna punch something when I see this name. What was the other one? There's a fourth one in the same class. What was it? Behind the designs of Galarian? What is Galarian? Who's the fourth bird in the party? Pretty sure it was gray. There's a fourth relevant bird that I thought was slightly stronger than all of them. Boy, I'm not going to sleep tonight. I haven't played it. I'm not going to lie. I played it some in high school. I did. So a little over a decade. Might have whipped it out in college after a bad exam. I like Pokemon. Okay, but it's not coming up. Blaziken, what do you got? That's not even associated. That's a beginner. That's the evolution of. The final evolution is Cumbuskin. I'm telling you, man, it's been a long time, but it'll come back to me. Don't get me started. Torchic. It was Torchic. It's the fire Pokemon, the grass Pokemon. I don't know. I didn't really like the grass Pokemon that much, but I bet I can recall them. It was Treecko. Treecko was the initial grass Pokemon in Ruby, Sapphire / Emerald. It's Treecko. I completed the whole game with all three, but I did it more times with the fire and water. So let's go to the water. What was the water? I can see that little bastard. I can see that little blue bastard. Give me the initial. Who's the first one? So I'm not cheating. I'm going to share my screen. This is a tangent that I'm happy happened. Who was the water? Pikachu. At Pikachu. Answer my question. Swampert was the final. Swampert was the middle one, right? Swampert was the middle one. The final evolution of the water Pokemon would have been Was it? No, it was Torchic, Kumbaskin, and then Blaziken, wasn't it? Blaziken was the final evolution, probably. I was maybe 7. Okay, you were maybe 5 years younger than me. Pikachu. If you get your Thunderstone, no one will know your age. Because again, when you evolve is outside of your control. Have fun being a victim. Treecko. I can see the evolution of Treecko. And the middle water Pokemon is Swampert. I know that. It's Swampert. And then at level 36, what does Swampert turn into, man? I can see it. Boy, I feel like a failure. I never felt like a failure this much. Ruby. Okay. Treecko, Torchic, Mudkip. Mudkip. It's Mudkip. Ah. Shoot. I can see it. Swamp, like I said, Treecko. Okay. And then Mudkip, Swampert. So Mudkip evolution. Marstop, then Swampert. I missed one. No. Grovyle. Skeptile. I should have got that one. I don't know that I would have gotten Grovyle with time to think. Yeah, like Pokemon Pikachu. What can I say? Okay, but I am an adult now, so I've moved on to more mature pursuits, which is why I'm sitting alone at 3 a.m. talking about chess. Let's glance at my chess.com numbers, which, unless we have over the board numbers, I would say online chess stats are pretty well respected in the chess community. An online rapid rating, if you don't have a FIDE rating or a local rating, meaning the country you're in, USCF in my case, Canada and Canadian Chess Federation probably in Canada's case, then it's online rapid. So it's not as good as having a FIDE, but it's accepted in the chess community. My rapid is 2112. I don't have a lot to gain by playing more rapid. I would say I'm slightly stronger than 2200 if I really just beat my head against the wall for another couple months. I'm on a pretty decent win streak, and I've streamed all these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I won my last 5, and I took a break from rapid. I mean, most of the last half of 2025, and playing over the board will always improve our online numbers. Not always will improving our online lead to better over the board play. And I knew that I would just have to rest and accept that it would take a few days for me to get back in the swing of online chess, and I would be over 2100. And I excelled, of course, when I returned to online rapid. Got over 2100 after a few tries and minor spirals. But I was clearly a lot stronger, and it was a lot easier. Even when I spiraled back down slightly below 2000 and in the low 2000s, it was much easier than it used to be. And I could keep improving, but it would be what I call a speed crawl. And I don't have time for that. I don't have time to do what it would take in order to reach 2200, though I think 2200, slightly above 2200 rapid, if I didn't have to work and didn't have any responsibilities, I would definitely be able to get that. Now, Blitz, I am over 2,200. Could have, should have, would have. Dayton could have, should have, would have. Stop making excuses. There's no excuses. I have my award. So. It's the opposite of excuses. That's called a 2,200 trophy in my virtual trophy case. And I said on LinkedIn, which I'm probably going to delete that because I need to stop being so hateful. Even if certain people deserve hateful comments, it's not my place, and it's not going to get me very far in life. Maybe it's like make it as a YouTuber, then I'll say what I want. But 2208, I do believe there are levels to chess, and what I call tiers in online chess. The best way I can describe a tier is on the higher tiered athlete's worst day, he or she would be playing at one tier below's best day. So Anna Kramling, for example, it's better than me, and it's not, debatable right now. I would consider her to be one tier above me. On Anna's worst day, which she's 2028 now, but she's been slightly over 2,400, like one win above 2,400. On her worst day, which is close to this, I think that this is about as bad as she'll be. I haven't studied her account, so I don't really know what she was at before she made this pretty impressive climb to 2,400. I believe I saw on her Instagram that she got a 2,300 award at some point. Or maybe it was used. I don't know. I saw somewhere. I don't think that I think it's been a while. Or, it hasn't been that long since she got her 2,300 award. Let's look at it. Yeah, well, okay, maybe the video was of her reaching 2,400, actually. Because that was in 2024. Never mind. So, yeah, she got 2,300 in 2024. So, she's young. She shouldn't be going backwards. This is about as low as I expect she would be. So my very best, like I said, I got to 2208 and I stopped. And before that, I was all around it. I think I got in the high 2,100s 3 times. And one of those times I was 2,199. And I just spiraled out of control. So I knew I'd get to 2,200. I'm not a lot better than my current rating, but I'm definitely a little bit better. I would say that's about my number if I was playing my very best, catching my lucky breaks. And that's how I know Anna Kramling is one tier above me. Her very worst play is about my very best. Another note, before we go claiming we can be a grandmaster, or I was in chess club as a kid, so let me play you, bro. I said this 2 years ago. I'm the benchmark. Unless you are savant, or you were spending way too much time as an adult, or you were pretty strong as a kid, if you suddenly got better than me as an adult, don't do what I'm doing. I would like to make a living doing this in some capacity so I can continue. But I'm spending way too much time. So it's not something to clap for if you're as good as me and you didn't start young. You don't have like a ridiculous Magnus Carlsen type memory. You're just wasting your life. Don't do that. My level is quite a bit above where one needs to be to impress all of his or her friends. I understand basic strategy very well. A lot of in-game patterns. I've looked at a lot of Grandmaster games. I've attended lectures. Don't do that. But it gets much harder to improve our rating as we get a higher global rank. There's a reason in football, like if Alabama loses to San Jose State, not that San Jose State is awful, but they're not a Power 5 school, well, that would kill them. They would fall a ton, like out of the rankings possibly. But if they lose to Georgia, they might only drop three in the ESPN top 10. So, and as you get higher, if you're ranked second in the country, going back to the football example, well, you only have one spot to go up. So it's damn near impossible to get that. And Tyler One, the League of Legends streamer, he plays chess too, right? Not really. No, he's no good. But he got to 1960, and Anna Kramling offered to challenge Tyler One if he reaches 2000, which will never happen because he doesn't know how to play an opening. He's seen 0 real openings in his fucking 10,000 plus games. It's cruel to let him do that to himself. But to go from 1960 to 2000 is difficult. It's easier to go from 400 to 600, gain 200, than it would be to go from 1960 to 2000, which is only 40. But for me at 2112, to go from 2112 to 2130, which is 18 points, that would be more difficult. Or it's more difficult than going from 1960 to 2000, which is 40, because I'm playing much better players. And there's only so much room to go up as we get higher. So if we hear 2 people went up 50 points, we need to know where they started at, of course. And it's one thing to learn a complicated skill like chess quickly, at least become competent. But a lot of times someone who figures out the basics quickly, that just indicates he or she is intelligent or has a pretty good IQ. That doesn't mean they're going to figure it out. In fact, a lot of times it indicates they didn't learn the necessary intangible traits, perseverance, how to be creative, how to control downward spirals, that would be necessary to actually get to this level of player, which is a pretty good player. And I'll end up way past her unless she decides to not stream, because again, I will simply excel with chess or I will quit streaming, because I don't know how they do it. I have a lot of respect for streamers. I don't know how they talk and play. You can see in my downward spirals, which they are recorded in there too, in my YouTube lives. Like, if I'll be doing good and I'll start to talk or tell a joke, I'll mismanage my clock, lose on time, make a stupid mistake, and then it just spirals. And then I sit there after my spiral and why am I doing this to myself? Why would I talk? Why would I stream? It does no good. If I were going to try to talk while I'm doing something and multitask, chess would be the last niche I would choose. It's impossible to play at your very best while talking. There's a reason you get shushed if an athlete talks too loud at the club or even whispers in the playing hall. Levels to chess. I mean, PogChamps is a joke to me, but I do respect the players trying. I respect anyone who tries. It gets very serious. Yeah, it does. And I'm going to play, like I said, Sunday rated games for the next 5 weeks. Because getting to 1800, I don't have to play those long games. And now that I'm older, I had to play the long games at first, because the longer the game, the more benefit we get from actually playing. We could learn something from a bullet game with engines and a thorough review or looking at it with a coach. But as far as actually sitting down at the board, there is no benefit at all from playing blitz chess, only the review. So when we're learning, at the very beginning, we could play a lot of speed chess just to get the patterns in our head and review with the robot. But once we know the basics, you got to play at least some long games. Do you think FIDE has messed up chess, man? I'm a weird person to ask that, Pikachu. Thank you. Don't thunderbolt me if I have an opinion you don't like, please. But I don't really care about chess. Nobody helped me. Nobody was mean to me. Well, that's not true. Most people were either indifferent or decent to me. But that's also why I don't think they do a good job marketing it. Baseball's slow, and a lot more Americans love baseball than chess, even though it's also very dry. So I don't think they do a good job marketing it. I don't think they're interested. I don't think chess business people, at least the influential ones, are interested in hearing outside opinions. I think they're corporate and they want it their way, and that's going to cost them. and they want mainstream to care just because it's impressive what grandmasters can do. Take Eminem, the rapper. Look at all he did for rappers. White rappers, black rappers benefited from it. Everybody benefited, but he was weird. Everyone was skeptical except Dr. Dre. That's the type of risk. That's the type of change you would have to tolerate. And very proper chess people, especially older ones, will struggle. I don't know how the chess grandmasters my age that have big followings view it. Maybe they're a little bit more lenient. But Magnus Carlsen's games just intimidate newcomers. He's actually probably the worst person to get people interested initially. Nobody cares about him. He just makes us feel stupid, which is sad, but he needs content creators more than anybody because he is so good. Makes me want to quit. Hikaru is the hope. Yeah, man, Hikaru talks shit on adults. I like Hikaru fine, but it's because I worked in the corporate world where I understand I can get friends elsewhere. I don't need them from work or my streaming or chess people. I respect Hikaru because he's a fairly good teacher for someone so strong. He seems to be genuine about it, and I think his intent, at least, is to be inclusive. But I mean, he says some hateful things about adults, man. How strong is that Samai guy that won Super Pog Champs? Do they play Blitz and Pog Champs? I can't watch it. It's a terrible quality of play. Was Samai Reina? Is that his name? What's he rated? Is it this guy? Is it this guy I'm sharing right now? Pikachu. Pikachu, are you there? He's either 500 or 2200. That's a pretty big difference, Pikachu. Next thing you know, you're going to be comparing yourself to Menace. Isn't that little thunder Pokemon's name that we find on the bike trail on the way to the third gym? After we get off the beach, we come up that way. It's Menace and Plusle. Other electric Pokemon that are very, very different than Pikachu. I'm saying you're confused. If 500 is 2000, then Plusle and Zapdos, Electrode, they basically are the same thing as Pikachu, right? If 500 and 2000 are the same number. Show the picture. Yeah, I got you. I'll show the picture. This guy. It's this guy, right? He's got a big following. They play Blitz chess on Pog Champs, right? This guy won Pog Champs? 1942. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's him? What does M mean? He's not a master. The guy, he's an Indian comedian, right? So that probably is him. Who were the other decent players, though? Was anyone else even rated 1100? That is BM Blundermaster. Where do you see BM at? Oh, okay. I see. BM for What about Andrea Botes? I do think I'm quite a bit better than her now. She turned it up and took it seriously again. Maybe she would get back to form and smoke me, but I think her chess.com is like super secret 1234. And I'm certainly not afraid of her. thought they were Canadian. Did they grow up in Oregon or Canada? I don't care. Yeah, but what's her peak blitz, though? Her peak blitz is only 21.26. Is that her primary account? So her highest ever rapid and her highest ever blitz are lower than me by quite a bit. And bullet, I'm telling you, I could kill it in bullet, but I haven't played bullet in probably over a year. Who are you? Yeah, Pikachu's a ghost. A ghost like Ghastly or Haunter. This is kind of my farewell for a while stream. Pikachu, you crashed it and made me stay longer than I intended. I was just letting you know there's a storm coming to St. Louis. I've got 5 weeks of crap stealing school, so aside from my over-the-board games, if you follow me and are a part of my chess army, thank you so much for the support. But just follow along with my chess.com account because I'll be doing some puzzles. Other than that, Nick can study my chess.com history and try to find inconsistencies with his little charts and Excel spreadsheets. I won't overdose. I'll just punch him in the face. Because you never accuse anyone without evidence, even if you don't like them, even if you don't trust them. It's just unacceptable. I could be like the equalizer. I'm super motivated to get good at chess. I don't necessarily like chess, though. It's just a vehicle to prove important points about the adult brain. And I kind of looked for reasons to quit chess for a while, but I couldn't find one. I did a musical theater audition in St. Louis, and I found out St. Louis is not just a pretty decent chess city or doesn't just have a chess club. It is the chess capital of America, if not the world. Oh, well, damn it. There goes that reason to quit. I can't find a club. Man, that's a big city. I wanted to be in a big city anyway. All right. Well, it's Kansas City or St. Louis. Looks like St. Louis it is. And then I still didn't want to do it. But table dealing school came up, downtown St. Louis. How far is that from the chess club? Be a long-ass jog? Oh, man. Maybe I won't get a reply. I don't know anyone in the casino industry. Sure did. We're short dealers after COVID. We'll pay to train you. We never do that. God dang it. I won't quit chess, guys. Fine. There are just too many signs for me to quit playing. Worked in tech, software, or code is just a bunch of glorified, or it's just a bunch of if-then-else statements. Chess is just a bunch of glorified if-then-else statements. Just glorified code. It's a little bit harder. That's all it is. Couldn't find a reason to quit. Yeah. And it's the most objective vehicle to prove points about the adaptability of the adult brain, which I do care about that, especially with young people. You know, life is a wild loop. That's a good way to put it. Andrea played in Super Pog Champs and she didn't win it? That guy beat Andrea Botez? No way. Really? I haven't watched much related to chess.com since the Hans Niemann crap. Really rubbed me the wrong way. He beat Andrea Botez in that? Why was she even there? What did she have to gain by participating? Was it a blitz game? He beat her in blitz chess or rapid chess? That's embarrassing. Rapid, that's even worse. I think she's pretty decent in blitz. She's probably quit.
If I could fly away, hey, and I wouldn't come back no more. I'd turn around just to see it for the last time. And now I know, hey, that it won't be easy, but I'm about to the battle and I made it this far. Still a few more feet, but it's still the longest, yeah. Hey, hey, man. If I could fly away. Key of D minor. Hey, and I wouldn't come back no more. I'd turn around just to see you for the last time. And now I know. Hey, hey. It's Nelly singing, probably. And it wouldn't be easy, but I'd have fought through the battle and I'd have made it this far. Still a few more feet, but it's still the longest yard. Oh, man. It's the longest shot I ever had to get in my life. And see, my life ain't right if my wife don't write. My chicken can't eat if the fish don't bite. My raise the gross sounds like Mike and Ike. And Big Brother Almighty, I keep a gamma ray. I'm a G5G, take a G5 Jeep, G5 deep to some of that bare feet, and that Jeep don't speak. Listen, man, they like it down round here. See, body bag and gag, and you're found round here. Hey, this is serious as it sounds round here. The guards guard the ground for pounds round here. And they ain't playing, they just letting you know that anything they want to happen, it can happen real slow. Got the whip from upstairs, put you in that hole. I can't take it, man, I'm ready to go if I could fly away. Oh, and I wouldn't come back no more. I'd turn around just to see you for the last time. See, now I know, hey, man, it won't be easy. Now I'd have fought through the battle and I'd have made it this far. Still a few more feet, but it's still the longest yard. Oh, yeah, it's still the longest yard. I'd have fought through the battle and I'd have made it this far. I'm in my cell 20 hours a day. I'm doing push-ups every hour a day, cause I'm trying to keep the cowards away. That's why I'm marking out the calendar days, trying to get it out of the way. And I'm just trying to keep a peace of mind. And I'm a shit motherfucker with a peace of mind, cause he's trying to take a piece of mine. So I'm gonna slice successful piece at a time. Ooh. Another day, close the door. Lock me in a cell 30 deep, but it's built for 10. Tell me what kind of world they got you in. With the barbed wire fences, box you in. From now till they turn off the lights, I'ma read anything in sight. It's kinda hard trying to read at night, but I'ma change my life and help another brother take this flight if I could fly away. Hey, and I wouldn't come back no more. I'd turn around just to see you for the last time. And now I know, hey, that it won't be easy, but I done fought through the battle and I done made it this far. Still a few more feet, but it's still the longest yard. No, it's still the longest yard. I gotta make it out of this place somehow, and oh, man, I really believe that I done turned this around. Oh, you see, all I need is that second chance to show. Since I crossed the reach of my obligation to rehabilitation. They can punch me high and they can kick me low, and oh, spit on me is gonna take more than that, but then to break my soul. Don't flip the guards off. Don't do that. Man, it's hard for people to understand what it's like to be gated, incarcerated. I just can't take it, but I'm gonna make a minute, see better days if I could fly away. Oh, and I wouldn't come back no more. I'd turn around just to see you for the last time. And now I know, hey, it won't be easy, but I done fought the battle and I done made it this far. Still a few more feet, but it's still the longest yard. Punch me high and they can kick me low. Oh, spit on me, it's gonna take more than that for them to break my soul. And oh, no. How beautiful. Oh. Okay. Punch me high and they can kick me low. And oh, oh. Spit on me, it's gonna take more than that for them to break my soul. What's the Bezos song, man? What's the Bezos song? Ad blocker. I think I've been hacked. I read about this. It's redirecting to Yahoo, and I know how to go ahead and change my. I've troubleshooted it. I'm definitely hacked. Yeah, it's just AI is coming. AI is here, and the people in power right now that are 50, 60 years old. That's just the way it is. Just deal with it. It's here. Like it, don't like it. Like, man, someone should regulate this before it kills us. But they don't know anything about technology, so I'm just accepting there's gonna be a bunch of hacks. We're gonna wake up and probably have social security number switched. Who the fuck knows? What's the Bezos song? Are you talking about the Bo Burnham, Jeffrey Bezos? Jeff Bezos song. You can punch me high and you can kick me low. Oh, oh. Spit on me, it's gonna take more than that for them to break my soul. Oh. That's what you're talking about, right? Yeah, man, I think I got what you want. I don't remember. Tell us where you came from. Look at you now. I'm still singing in Nelly's chord progression. I guess my amateurs can fucking suck it. Fuck their wives, drink their blood. It's awful. I don't remember those words. Dude, why is my computer going to this though? For real? Is it part 2? I don't know. Yeah, I can definitely play it. Can't play it like Bo. Actually, Bo's pretty average on guitar. He's solid on piano though. I don't know. Bezos, there's a 4th version. It goes from 1 to 4. Jeffrey. Is this it? It's not a song. Is it Bezos 2? Where's the words though? It's not a full song. Yeah, I mean I can play those chords. What's the song? Oh, that's what it is.
See, large corporations should have a team assigned to listening to Bo Burnham Inside and other millennial, Gen Z, immature but popular acts, because that's your customer now. We think it's a joke. I respect Jeff Bezos and what he built. I'm sure Bill Burnham does too, but still, we acknowledge that it's not all follow your passion and smiles. It's a killing your competition. And it doesn't sound like Bill Burnham is high on Facebook or Mark Zuckerberg. And it sounds like it's just a bunch of beats he's got going on. But I got you, man. Let me just get this figured out real quick. Yeah, this is it, man. I'm gonna get you a good cover of this. Yeah, I like this. It's kinda pretty when you got the auto tune.
This video has been suggested from this comment. So remember to like and comment on my videos so that your song suggestion may become the
Okay, let's get it on guitar first. Okay, see if we can hear it. That's it. Man, that's about as easy as it gets. So that we can get a little more advanced here.
next piano lesson. Also, only about 10% of you who watch me, guys, this is Amos Style Music, and in today goes like this. Repeat. All right, let's learn right now. It's actually not difficult at all once you learn the right hand pattern. All right, so there's two right hand patterns to learn. First pattern is played twice, starting on the E, right next to middle C. So it goes 8 E's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then D, E, D, E, G, E, D, E. And that's it, and you play this for twice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then D, E, D, E, G, E, D, E. So like repeating. Like that. Okay, so you play that pattern for twice. Left hand is very simple. You just alternate between the lower E octave and the higher octave. Kind of like the percussion. All right, and then combining it together goes like this. So every 4 notes on the right hand you play together. That's it for the first part. Moving on, right hand, the second part goes 8 Ds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then another 2 Ds, D, D, A, D, E, D, A, D, and then 8 Ds, 1, 2, 3, 4. Five, 6, 7, 8, and then octave above D, D for the clap imitation. Clap, clap. If you don't want to do that, you can just do clap, clap, literally like that, like physically. Anyway, so one more time. So it goes 8 Ds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then D, D, A, D, E, D, A, D, and then 8 D.
D, A, D, E, A, D. Okay.
D's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Octave higher D for the clap, or clap, clap if we don't want to do the 2 Ds. All right. Left hand, same thing as the first part, but instead of E's, you do it as alternating D octaves. All right. Turn together once again, same concept. 4 notes each left hand notes. So together. Yeah, or clap, clap. All right. Like that. Yeah, there you go. So back to back, the 2 parts we've learned this lesson would be played like this. Clap, clap.
That's all the song is. All right, I think I got it.
Clap, clap.
It's like the
There you
same
go.
thing, but they just
Not
turned
difficult. We learned this within 3 minutes. So awesome stuff. If you want to
Change
learn more
the
Bo Burnham
D.
songs, I've done a lot of Bo Burnham.
That's boring. I guess that's what he's doing.
Song, this album, and the like older songs as well. So search up Bo Burnham, Amos Store on the YouTube search to find those other lessons to learn for yourself. Languages, meme songs, video game music.
All right, Pikachu, that's what he's doing, man. This is the other version of it. Didn't account for that. That's the only part that matters right there. Jeffrey Bezos. Just get that part, you might play the piano. B-A-E-F sharp. That's good enough. Okay. All right, Pikachu, thanks for joining. Yeah, there are tiers. Yeah, there are levels. There are really levels. Do you play piano, Pikachu? Or do you just sit in the Coliseum and wait for other Pokemon to battle you? there are tiers to piano. Set to listen. You could play, like you said. There are levels. I mean, I consider myself right at the bathroom singer only. Yeah, I just sing everywhere I go, personally. But maybe branch out. But here's what I would do, man. I would just, during COVID lockdown, as soon as the karaoke bars reopen, I would just go to karaoke and they show the song key. And I would pull up the sheet music on my phone. And I would follow along until I could kind of hear the patterns and stuff. And like you said, there are layers. Piano is very cool because like I actually have it written down on a sticky note. If this sticky note is your weapon, I'm all about saving time. But there are 3 and 4 note chords. So pick any scale. The easiest is C major because it has no sharps or flats. Start of major. It's just a whole step, half step, whole, half. But where you talk about layers, each note has a corresponding chord. So in the case of C major, the C is a major note. The D is a minor, which is the second of the scale. The third is a minor, which is the E. So each note gets a little bit deeper. And then if we want to go to the 4 note chords for each note, in the case of C, it's a major with a 7th. It's a minor with a 7th. It's a minor with a 7th. And then major with a 7th. Then it's a dominant 7th, which means a major with a 7th from the minor scale. So then you get into layers. And with just that, just beating that to death, just relative minor is A minor. And then it's a major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, and then it's diminished. And then you could go back if you wanted to go a deeper layer, add the 4th note into the chord. So we have major with a major 7th, minor with a minor 7th, minor with another minor 7th, major, the major 7th, major with a minor 7th or a dominant 7th, minor with a minor 7th, and then diminished Latin 5th, so minor 7. Should be right. That's just layers. And you could do that without even knowing how to read sheet music or having any background playing instruments. And that's a huge start. You could trick people into thinking you know what you're doing with just that. Bathroom. I may buy a piano. Hey man, what I would do and I'm serious about this. So this is a foldable. Oh shit! I pinched my finger. I hate it when I do that, Pikachu. Man, it hurts so bad. This is a foldable piano, and I mean it's a real piano. It's super cheap. It works. It plays. Same thing I just talked about. And you can take that everywhere. If you drive, you can, go on a road trip. And if you get tired, press your scales and then get back on the road. In a hotel, just sit down, on your table. It's great. Piano or guitar, which is more easy? It's not about which is easier. It's about which is more beneficial and which gives a better foundation. And my answer is piano. Would you like to know why? Guitar, we have to look down, which at best, I mean, it's not a clear shot at music. So guitar, we just memorize finger shapes. We don't understand why they work. Piano, not only can we see what we're playing without breaking our neck, we are also forced to learn some music theory, which will also help us on guitar because it's all right in front of us. And guitar, like, you might hear someone that doesn't know what they're talking about say guitar is like these are just different octaves, but they're the same keys. It's just a set of 12 keys if you include the black notes, but they're the same on piano. So one might think they're not the same on guitar, which is kind of true. You know, on guitar, we have an A here. There's A's all over the place. And if you don't have any musical background, it will appear there's no pattern, but there, of course, is. But in guitar, we have bar chords. Those are chords. Those are true. And that's a slidable shape. That's one of the many slidable shapes on guitar. Now, our minor shape, if we're starting on the lowest string, it slides. So on the fifth string, there's another minor shape that those are all going to sound fine. Those are all chords. Now, that's an A chord. But see how suddenly it's not anything anymore? It doesn't slide. That shape doesn't slide. So there's still consistencies on the guitar, but you have to get more advanced before you start barring chords and understanding them. So to shorten my answer, piano, we can see what we're playing, which helps us learn not just one instrument, but how music works. Whereas guitar, we can't see as well, and it takes us a little bit more skill to understand music. It's the pitch proportional to the length of the string. You mean why different shapes work on the guitar and make different sounds? Well, the strings are different sizes too. So they'll get smaller as you get higher. I guess that's another reason it's a little bit more difficult to understand guitar and learn guitar, in my opinion. Because I don't completely understand your question, but yeah, guitar has to be tuned. I mean, technically a piano could get out of tune, a real piano. You know, it's just that you see people, like, I know how to change the strings. I won't do it right now because it's a pain in the ass. But yeah, guitar, like, you see my tuner on the guitar, it's going to show an E because I'm in tune right now. So there's an E, A, D, G, B, E. Those are the strings on a guitar. And that's standard tuning on guitar. So the best way to put it is a piano technically could get out of tune also. But guitar, like, you might intentionally, like, there's a very popular, like, drop D tuning. It's going to screw everything up. This is also why I don't recommend guitar first. Because even not that complicated songs might be in drop D tuning. So now I'm in drop D tuning. These chords are now going to be a little bit off. They're not true anymore. But I can play a lot of songs like John Mayer, if you know Your Body is a Wonderland. We got the... I don't know if I'm on the right. We got the afternoon. You got this room too. There it is. We got the afternoon. But that requires you to change the tuning, which on the piano you would never really change the tuning of it. So there's a lot more going on guitar, in my opinion. But piano would help you have a start on guitar. I don't know that being decent on guitar would help you on other instruments like piano would. My opinion. I learned guitar first, and I regret it. Majorly. Majorly, get it? Not minorly. I tell chess jokes. I tell music jokes. But I developed a lot of bad habits learning guitar first. Piano seems more hustle. What do you mean? Piano seems more hustle. Like more difficult? I don't know that I would say either is necessarily. And like what I just did there. Oh yeah, to carry around. That's why the foldable piano is cool. Yeah, like what I just did there. Like that's a D major. Still a D major. I didn't change anything with my left hand except for I hammered. It's called a hammer-on. So a lot of those really pretty, where it almost sounds like there's two guitarists at once, even though you know there's not. They're probably doing hammer-ons, pull-offs. And that's a little bit harder to get your fingers to do at first. If I were a guitar teacher, I would not introduce that very quickly. But on the piano, like even if you don't know what a D major chord is, I can tell you to do that with your fingers and whatever note. I don't even know what I hammered on there. That's an E +4. I don't know. It's the same action as a hammer on a guitar, but you can see what's happening, and you can already hear the sound clearly because it's easy for you to hit that note. Where on guitar, even though you know what I just did and I could show you what strings to hit, I guarantee you the first 20 times your fingers would not do what mine just did without messing up your shape, probably. Pianos, I mean, I think so. I can't see what I'm doing here. You could, if you were looking at me and facing me, you would have a better visual than I do playing guitar right now. It might be reasonable to say piano is a little bit easier to get decent at. But I mean, if you watch or listen to a really good piano player, once you're at my level, which is like maybe you could say I'm a good amateur. I'm not a fast sheet music reader at all. I haven't really drilled it. But if you show me like a Beethoven piece and you gave me enough time, I bet I could make it sound pretty good. But really good players will be able to pick it up and maybe even hear it. That's the real question. Piano's more. Yeah, I mean, piano might be harder to master. I don't know. It depends on what you're doing. Like the best way. This is why music is interesting, and it's more relaxing to me than chess. It's a much more relaxing hobby. It depends on your goal. Like no one is to say what a good musician is or isn't. Carrie Underwood has an exceptional voice. Most would agree. You could argue that Carrie Underwood has a bad voice if it's not your taste. Though I would disagree with you. I can't really prove you wrong. And that's good and bad. But it's definitely more relaxing. And in music, if you can accomplish what you're trying to do, whether you want to write a love song for your wife, whether you want to write a get well song for a sick friend, whatever your goal is, if you can accomplish that, I can't say you're unsuccessful. I can't even say you're not the best in the world. Someone might think you're the best in the world, just being able to punch notes with your finger and you made a little melody for your sick dog. But in chess, I can absolutely prove you are not. I don't know about you, but me or anyone, I can prove that you're not Magnus Carlsen. And no one can debate that, even if you like me more. If you think Magnus Carlsen is mean or nice or whatever, you still have to accept he's the best at what he does. And in music, there's no way to do that. Which gets more chicks? I mean, I'm sitting alone in a phone booth, and I strongly believe, Pikachu, if I would have just played guitar on YouTube and then walked up and down, popular streets in St. Louis with my shirt off playing guitar, I bet I would have a lot more sex. So guitar would get more chicks. If nothing else, because we can play guitar at open mics, we can play guitar in bands. At chess clubs, if you try to, hit on the women, you'll be on a call it out page. And you'll probably lose your job. Short answer is playing guitar will get you laid a lot more. Has playing guitar ever got me laid? Yeah, there was a girl in college that didn't know much about music, and she thought I was really good. One time it did. Has playing chess ever got me laid? No. It's got me isolated. Play guitar, don't play chess. If your goal is to get chicks. Why guitar gets more chicks is because it helps build that finger. That's foreplay. Play guitar well enough, you don't need foreplay. That is the foreplay. You think John Mayer messes with foreplay? I doubt it. I wouldn't if I played guitar that well. I would just start soloing until she was naked. Wouldn't have to practice kissing ever. Go straight to sex. Chess is the least love-inducing sport, I think. I don't know. There are some women that are turned on by. I don't think chess is necessarily intellect, and I don't really get it. But maybe more intelligent women would just like smart people. I would say funny is more appealing. Like if you were not a good looking guy, you weren't tall, you didn't have money, like the most common things women find sexy in a man. I would think women would prefer funny over intelligent. And now you could argue you have to be intelligent to be funny. But yeah, I can't imagine if you just showed a girl your chess notations, she would get turned on or want to have sex. Funny or money? I don't know that money turns women on. It might make them more likely to marry you or more comfortable. But as far as if we're just talking about like pure sex drive, I doubt that money in and of itself would make a girl more into sex. Yeah, money might help you get a girl for sure, especially as we get older and there's more to the relationship than just physical or short-term fun. But I don't know that money necessarily turns most women on in and of itself. What do you think, Pikachu? Are you saying if Ash Ketchum hadn't caught them all, he wouldn't be attractive? You think women care that Ash did catch them all and it's in the Pokemon theme song? Gotta catch them all. But I didn't catch them all. Oh, well, you're a failure. I thought this relationship was going somewhere, Ash, but it would appear you just have Pikachu in your Pokebelt. And then she goes off to the next city. Yeah, it would be sad, right? It would make the encounter really awkward. I thought you loved me for me. There's no such thing. You only have Pikachu in that bitch? I thought you had Mewtwo. There's no Zapdos in here. I can't get naked for this. And then you go to gym 2 and you find Misty, the attractive water Pokemon master. And then she says, #feminism. Don't you worry. The debate of whether a male Pokemon trainer is sexier if he's caught them all or not doesn't matter to me. I'm too busy doing it myself. You think I just have Starmie and Staryu? Yeah, right. I have all the legendaries. I just don't pull them out at this gym. then I will die alone. I still want to have kids. And if I told all the guys who come in to challenge me for my badge, which I forget what that badge is called, but damn it, if I thought about it, I might remember. But well, how is my grandma ever going to be a great grandma, right? So I just tell them I'm a water master. But if I go to the Poke Center and I trade out my top 6, turns out I'm the shit and men suck. What if Misty did that? What if that were in the captions when we challenged Gym 2? Mom, this isn't the G-rated Pokemon version. Misty's fucking crazy, but she's also highly competent, and I like it. Can I let Misty spank me, or should we just... No, it's Gym 2. Just fight the water Pokemon. Damn it, what is this Pokemon X? Have you heard of anti... No, I haven't. Who are you, by the way? Are you trying to get me in trouble? Get me talking, and I'll say some shit. I don't want to Google it either. You're going to get me popping up on bad government lists. No, it's philosophy. I don't need that. I've already gone through that period of my life. It's worse than the midlife crisis. My early 20s was worse than the midlife crisis. On the bright side, I think I should be fine from here on out. But I don't need to do that. Explain it to me. I'm going to cuddle my puppy. Don't get me thinking before bedtime. No, I don't know what anti... Fuck it, I'll Google it. Procreation is unethical. Well, of course it is. It is always or usually wrong to procreate. Okay, that makes sense. I should just pay attention to the term. Yeah, so should we just let humanity end? I wouldn't disagree with that. Here's how I would put it. Do you want to hear how I would defend that anti-natalism? Because a child does not... Yeah, of course. Yeah, at a high level. Of course. Do you want me to give an analogy that's going to make... It seems like you're on the same page, same wavelength as me, which is not good for either of us. I wouldn't wish my brain on my worst enemy. But would you like to hear an analogy to explain that same concept? How do I attract these type of people into my life? They show up everywhere. Karaoke. I'm just here to sing a song. Hot drunk girl wants to talk about fucking philosophy. I'm telling you, it happens to me. Everywhere I go, this shit happens. Okay. Let's say I invited you to play a game. The game I'm going to offer you to play is called the Game of Dayton. The Game of Dayton. I'm going to type it in chat. Now, you don't know anything about this game. All you know is there's a goal and there's a way to win. But you don't know if your skill sets will match those necessary to succeed in the Game of Dayton. The only rule I'm going to tell you is I reserve the right to change the rules at any time, especially when you start having success. Not only do you not know what strengths will be necessary, you might have to start over, being a completely new person with no say over your genetics, early environment. You're just going to play a game that you have no idea how it works. And as soon as you start to gain some traction, the game maker can change everything. Like, of course you wouldn't play my game. That's torture. That's torture. And that's how I view life. Of course, it's terrible to have a human. But to defend, I mean, reproducing, it's no one's fault. And humans, especially women, most all humans, especially women, want to reproduce. So it's somewhat in us as animals to want kids, just because if we think about it logically, it's extremely cruel to have a child intentionally. It's extremely cruel when we can't guarantee. Yeah, life is just a trap. Life is a trap we must fight our way out of. That's, if I wrote a book, that's life's a trap. Let's fight our way out. That's just, I don't even know what I would write in the book, but that would be the only book I'd write, because I truly believe that it's a trap, but it can be fine. It can be fine. But does that mean humans should just fight human nature and just punish ourselves? I didn't ask to be here. I would like a kid, even though I understand how selfish, if we really think logically, having a kid is. I still want a kid. I might not have one, but it would make me sad to not have a kid. Yeah, I went through a period where I was very upset with my parents. Not like our relationship was bad, but so you forced me here. And I grew up in the Bible Belt, so at that time I was also struggling with accepting the Bible is either not completely true, or at least there's no evidence. Felt like I was lied to as a kid. And I'm like, well, why did you have me? Well, because we love you. I'm like, but you didn't know you loved me when you had me. And also, you couldn't guarantee that I would be born. I mean, I don't know that I would say I'm normal and no one's perfect, but I didn't struggle in college. I've always been able to learn pretty easily. I've always spoke fine. Some people can't speak. Some people, I had a ethics class my freshman year of college, and the whole point of that semester was trying to define what a human being is. And that fucked my world up, Pikachu. I'm telling you, that's why Dr. Craig Titus, my midlife crisis will not be near as bad as my freshman year of college. Don't go to a liberal arts school, or be careful. I like the guy, but it really messed me up. But it goes through. Okay, there is a thing, you could say it's a human, depending on how you define a human, that doesn't have certain parts of his brain, was born without them. Is that still a human? Well, he can't do math. He'll never be able to speak, never be able to dress himself. The part of his brain doesn't connect to, he has arms, he can't use them, those types of examples. Is that still a human? And then some kid in the class would define a human. Well, technically, by that definition, it's not. Then we'd have to change the definition of a human. Then you get conjoined twins. Is that two humans? Okay, well, I guess I have to understand what exactly is happening there. Is it the same brain? Like, they have two different brains? Does it control both? You get into all these variables, and you realize it's not even so simple to define what a human is. And I think I can't control if my kid came out healthy. Of course, some people who are poor or disabled end up much happier than smart people and normal people. Like, who's to say the goal of life? And if it's to be happy, there's many ways to be happy. But still, I can't control how that kid's going to come out, even if me and my wife are normal, smart. And then I just set the kid up for failure in the game of life, or game of dating, in my silly example. And the hardest thing is for someone to forget to wear a plastic band cause you just come right back without having knowledge of the past. Yeah, I'll wear a condom. And the hardest part of being a streamer is, believe it or not, even death. I see your first part of the sentence. Even death is not the end, because you just come right back, reincarnation. Yeah, I don't know. I grew up being told heaven was real and hell was real. So it's just so much evidence of reincarnation, I guess. But as a streamer, especially before you have any traction at all, the chance of having sex, or even like normal monogamous relationships with a woman most would want to marry is low, because women, especially as they near 30, if they are looking for something casual, it's probably because they're going through a divorce, that's my first choice for a wife, by the way, ladies. If you have one divorce, no, a lot of men are They don't want to deal with a divorced woman. One divorce is actually my preference because I'm going to play chess this weekend, babe. Well, you know what? What did my ex-husband do? He drank too much. And one time he raised his hand. I thought he was gonna fucking hit me. Goes to the bar. He cheated on me. Dayton wants to play chess. It's not so bad. He'll come home sober with some energy left. Yeah, go play chess. But if she's not divorced and she's smoking hot, the hotter she is, if she's not divorced, she's going to expect a lot of me. She's going to expect way too much of me. And I really believe my friends are at that age, which is my age 30, where I think their wives are chilling out a little bit, and I'll be able to rekindle those relationships because some of her friends have really made the wrong decisions. And when a woman sees her female friends getting divorced or struggling in their marriages with an asshole, they realize, hey, my husband can go gambling with Dayton, and it's fine. But until 5 or so years into marriage, no, it's the honeymoon phase, and no one wants to play blackjack with me anymore. So a woman with one divorce is really cool because I don't have to go through that 3 to 5 year period where she has me by the balls. And she will be super appreciative, even if she's smoking hot and has other options. If I just treat her well, not even perfect, if I just buy her flowers every other Valentine's Day, right? She'll look like an angel. But if she has more than one divorce, I'm worried at least one might have been her fault. So no divorces, especially if she's very physically attractive, man, we're not going to last very long. Or at least I'm not going to get to play chess on the weekends. And when I play guitar, she might knock on the door and tell me to stop. And I'll say, I think I like being single. It's not a silly little moment. It's not the storm. It's not the storm before the calm. This is the deep and dying breath of this love that we've been working on. Can't seem to hold you like I want to, so I can feel you in my arms. Nobody's gonna come and save you. We pulled too many false alarms, and we're going down. Babe, you can see it too. We're going down, and you know that we're doomed, my dear. We're slow dancing in a burning room. Single is the only truth. Single is lonely, man. You don't want to be single. I do wonder if what's that term? Polyamorous relationships, polyamory. It's gonna be. I don't know if it'll be the majority of relationships in America. One body can touch the other. The soul is forever alone. Yeah, I mean, we got to deal with ourselves. Isn't that hard? Jordan Peterson, hack your account, Pikachu. I have mixed feelings about him. Makes me feel inadequate. And he provides very logical arguments as to why I'm inadequate. Jordan, stop it. Yeah, at the end of the day, we're all alone. And that's sad. But because of social media, primarily social media, I think at some point in my lifetime, I guess I wouldn't say more relationships would be polyamorous than monogamous, because what would happen realistically is a few or a smaller percentage of men would just have a lot of girlfriends. And I don't think it's as exciting or as desirable to women to have more than one partner as it is to men. But social media, the grass is always greener. I mean, I could turn off the stream and go cry myself to sleep. You don't know what I'm going through. No one knows what anyone's going through. But women, even feminist women, even really confident, successful women, they are attracted to men with status, money, or even a following on social media. And that, whereas men, like, I don't care at all. In fact, I'd probably prefer a woman, even if I wasn't looking for something serious, I probably wouldn't want her to have a big following or a lot of money. So that will leave a lot of women wanting the same guy as long as social media is here, which is going to be forever. And can society operate like that? Can society operate without monogamous relationships? And I would say, yeah, probably so. That's what's going to happen. There will be some jealousy issues. I guess the question is, like, I don't think that just having one person, one life partner, one spouse will be the case unless that man doesn't have options. And I think most women, even religious women, even conservative women, at the end of the day would prefer a really desirable guy who is sleeping with more than one woman than to have one man who she's not as into. And with social media, it amplifies that desire for one, and it makes it easier to access men. If a Tom Brady type man in the past wasn't in your hometown, even if you thought it would be cool or wondered about him, you got no way to pursue that fantasy. Whereas now, every day it happens. Just a message on Instagram. It's going to screw the kids up. But it's coming. It's already happening. My friend has an OnlyFans using AI model. Using AI. That's another thing too, is if I were a woman, I'd be rich as shit. If I were an attractive woman, I'd have 10 yachts. I don't judge women. I respect the chess women a lot because it's no coincidence the biggest, wealthiest female streamers happen to be some of the more attractive chess players, probably. But they chose a niche that doesn't only focus on their good looks, and they totally could have been richer with a lot less work by just modeling or doing OnlyFans. So I would do that. I would do an OnlyFans. When I make jokes about women posing, it's not because I blame them or wouldn't do it if I were them. Because I wish I were you. I'm jealous. But I probably wouldn't marry him if I had my choice. And it does lead to a lot of resentment. I Uber drive. Well, I don't drive as much anymore, but when I was doing it full time, I drove several truck drivers. And I'm not sharing any personal details because I don't remember their names or anything. But when they're on the road that long, now that OnlyFans is big, you'd be amazed at how many old truck drivers watch girls on OnlyFans. Some even pay for it. But I started asking the truck drivers, you can steer conversations however you want in an Uber. If one like truck driver brings up something, well, probably a lot of other truck drivers are thinking or doing the same things. So you can start steering conversations in that direction. And anytime I got the chance, I would ask a truck driver if he watches or would watch OnlyFans. Then it got to the point where like a lot would, but the consensus was they also, wouldn't take the girl seriously. And one reason for them not taking an OnlyFans girl seriously, or even some people, some guys wouldn't even like an actress or a successful woman at all. I wouldn't mind her to be successful. It would depend a lot on the field. But there's a little bit of jealousy when you're driving a truck, sometimes well over 40 hours a week, and you're tired and you're alone and you're getting older and your neck starts to hurt, and you turn on your iPhone and there's this hot girl who is 30 times richer than that truck driver who's working his ass off. And he's in unsafe areas sometimes, unloading his truck, in a place where there were just gunshots. And then he turns on his phone, and there's again this girl in her mansion that has done nothing, and she's half his age, and she's done nothing, hadn't gone to school, hadn't worked hard a day in her life. She's just decent looking, and she's rich now. And that kind of envy is not healthy. That envy between men and women, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing when men, and not just truck drivers, I mean, a lot of men would be cool with just watching a girl, knowing they wouldn't be attracted to her simply because of what she's doing, but they're still so lonely, they subscribe to her. That's going to become a woman's problem really quick. I would say all this. Do you think it's only a man's problem? I think it's a huge problem for everybody. But when men are knowingly, not like they're addicted to porn, they're just lonely. Watching OnlyFans, sometimes the girl has clothes on, and they're knowingly getting turned on or getting connection from a woman, not even because of her physical body, they're just that lonely. But at the same time, they know, even as lonely as they are, if she were in their truck, would not want to have sex with her or even have any type of intimacy, because they're so disgusted by what she's doing, and the society has allowed that. But they're so, like, that's terrible. To be so lonely that you're watching a girl on a screen that you wouldn't even touch if she's sitting next to you. But you're still happier because you don't have to deal with the bullshit. That's a terrible place for men and women to be in, Pikachu. That's worse than being in the granite cave and not having Flash installed on your Pikachu. I thought for a while women would end up having to pursue men because of the call it out stuff, the Justin Tucker case. Many men during COVID I Uber drove a woman who was 32, and she, at 17, met a guy who she would end up marrying. And after about a decade of marriage, they ended up divorced. He became abusive, and she was 32, single for the first time ever. I think that was the only guy she'd ever been with. So she has no dating experience, probably only kissed one guy if she was 17 or not very many. Only guy she'd slept with. And so she's 32 trying to date. And she couldn't get men to approach her. And she worried it was her. She was trying to flirt and dress hot. She's like, maybe I don't know how to flirt. And I'm an Uber driver, so I just listen to fucking everything, and I just collect data. I've lived a million lives. And we thought it might have been the call it out stuff during COVID. And it's amazing that she and a lot of women don't even consider that might be a reason. I didn't get approached. Are men shy? What happened? Are they all on dating apps? I'm like, no, it's bad for men on dating apps. I'm 6'2". I put corporate tech for a while on my Tinder profile. Just, you don't know me, I'll get a first date. And yeah, I mean, I got some matches and stuff. But I can't imagine what it would be like for a guy who is, like, let's say 5'6", or whatever the average male height is, a little taller than that, is young, so doesn't have any work experience, maybe not a college degree. Not everyone's fortunate to go to college like I was, possibly a criminal record. Like, you don't get any action on dating apps. And during COVID lockdown, that's all there was. And you said, why is it only a man's problem? That's why I think it's going to become a woman's problem, because all those options might seem good, but it will definitely shift to where men get sick of it. And only women who are young, even if they're attractive at a certain age, a lot of men will write them off. And I feel the worst for women in the long run, because not everyone chooses right, and sometimes people change. And kind of like that example, a guy who's 5'6", possibly criminal record, struggles to get matched on dating apps. Women will feel that pain very soon. After all the feminism stuff, women generally aren't attracted to men who earn less than them. And in a lot of big cities right now, women are starting to earn more than men. And that's cool. I don't have a problem with it. But when women are 40, or if they get divorced, maybe their husband starts doing drugs, fails to cope with life, and they were wrong, they picked the wrong guy, and they will feel what it's like. An attractive woman who becomes 40 and she's divorced with a kid, she will feel what it's like to be that 5'6" guy with a criminal record. And women will not handle it as well as men do, and we don't always handle it well. Yeah, I mean, I hate balancing because I don't want women to hurt. Like I have several cousins, but one of my two female cousins who's closest to my age, she's a very nice person. And of course, I won't bring family into this, and I don't know everything about her life. Like, she doesn't mind, but I really think if I had to bet, she's probably one of the nicer girls. And I would never want someone like my cousin to be treated poorly. And she's with a guy now who's very, very good and very nice, and I know him. And that's why I recommended him in part. I knew him, and I know he's a good guy, at least very loyal. But most women are not bad. It's like my number one test for women, and I am to the age now where, like, I spent a lot of time playing chess. I got addicted, and in part, I went through a breakup that was like a 4-year relationship, so that was not something you just jump right out of. And COVID lockdown was weird anyway, so bad time for it. And even had it been normal times, when you date someone that long, it's hard to just like go be serious again. But my number one shit test is, like, if I am overly forward, or let's say I try not to intentionally be weird, but I try to be a little bit pushy, especially with attractive women, because the more attractive the woman is, the more options she probably has, and the more she thinks, I'll just test them a little more. I've got a lot of guys. Let's see who passes my shit test. And I'm all about it. I'm almost playing into the shit test. Maybe being a little bit too forward. But unlike most guys she's testing, once I hit a threshold where I feel like she is not respecting my time, and likely that means she's probably not respecting another guy's time. She's not respecting people's time. For whatever reason, she thinks she's too hot. She has too many options. She's a bad person. I don't know. It goes from 100 to 0 like that. And I will never speak to her again, ever. He was obsessed with me. I was actually liking him, but I just wanted to make sure he wasn't too into me. And I'll come back, and I'm done. I don't know if it's an ego problem. I might be the same way. You can't really blame women, but it's my life too. So whether it's an ego problem or not, I'm just done with her. And also, there's a risk if a girl is too hesitant. Well, one, she might not like the guy, just using him for attention, but also she might have been beaten. I've also, what's given me perspective is Uber driving. I'm telling you, I would do it even if I were rich. I have a job again, and I still Uber drive because it's given me a lot of perspective. And I'm not saying you're being mean about women, Pikachu. Maybe you just haven't had a female handler. Maybe Ash is a little too stern with you. You need a little bit of delicacy to lighten your ass up. But talk to a woman who was beaten, or, I mean, unless you're Uber driving, like, pick her up from a domestic abuse shelter. And it'll change the way you see things. Like, personally, I just have more sympathy with women, though I don't change my approach with women. And there is a shelter near where I live. I won't tell you where I live. And unlike a lot of women's shelters, like one back home where I'm from, Springfield, Missouri, it's called Harmony House. And it's clear what it is. Everyone knows what it is. They have a sign up: come here, 1 in 4 women have been a victim of abuse, 1 in 3 men, which is an astounding stat. And I'm thankful they actually put that up there because women can be fucking crazy. In fact, I think women get wronged more. I think there's nothing like an evil woman, Pikachu. There's nothing like it. Men want something, even if they're sick and on drugs and they want to hit her. Like there's a clear want, even if it's fucked up. I think a lot of women, not a lot of women, but of women who are bad, it might be a smaller percentage of women who hurt men or are really, really ruthless, but they are a different type of evil. Women are a different type of evil when they are. It's calculated when women are. They might not even want something. They might even not even know why. But it goes to defamation. They want to hurt a man. The most evil women, they want to find what breaks that man. And sometimes it's just a vague thing like respect. Men just want to be respected. And sometimes it's something unique that they can find out. And they I'm not saying I've lived this necessarily. I've had my experiences, but I've heard. And you just look at defamation cases like Johnny Depp. Some women will just stop at nothing. So it meant a lot that they put that stat. Anyway, sorry to go on a tangent. But at the same time, like I'm not even a professional fighter who's a woman, even though I'm untrained. I took a jiu-jitsu class with my friend and I've done a few things here and there, but I'm an untrained fighter. The best fighting women in the world, if they got me in a ring, they would beat me. They're technically skilled and stuff. But if I had room to maneuver and I could avoid tight quarters or grappling situations with the strongest women in the world who are trained, I'm at least going to get away. But there's not a woman alive who, if I had some space, I couldn't get away from. I'm not saying I could beat her in a fight necessarily. I think if I trained even at 30 years old, if I had time to train and put muscle on with a professional coach and stuff, I think I could beat the shit out of almost any woman, even as a just semi-athletic, strong man. So in women's defense, we don't know what it's like to be afraid. And talking to women who have been a victim of domestic abuse, it might change your perspective. But at the same time, it's not my responsibility. So though I would want them to get help and I would want men to have sympathy, if that woman is more hesitant or standoffish and I find out, well, it's because my last boyfriend hit me, I'm very sorry about that. But that's part of my shit test. Unfortunately, it's not my job to fix your situation. And I didn't hit you. I've never hit a woman, nor would I. So I will also just write her off if she is hesitant for any reason. Or she might, and women have a lot of options. So I say 48 hours if I've expressed interest and I don't get a reply in 48 hours, it's worse than a no. In fact, if a woman tells me no, Pikachu, within 48 hours, she is on my good list. So whether it be she has a boyfriend, she doesn't have to tell me anything. Just no. Or she can give a polite, fake reason. I don't care. One woman I knew of from my hometown, I asked her out during COVID lockdown, and she said she was engaged and they just called off the wedding, so it's just a hard time in her life. But I saw her on Tinder, which is why I asked her out on Facebook. We're friends on Facebook. And I knew she was lying. At that time, I didn't have a job. I just sold my house. Anyone in my friend circle that she might have also known would have said, he's going through something. So even if she thought I was attractive, she wasn't going to mess with me at that point. So she just used that as an excuse, most likely. I remember that. And if she ever changes her mind or is single, she would be my first choice because she told me no. Now, a lot of women, especially when they're younger and have options, think silence means maybe later, or silence means if it doesn't work out with this guy, then I want you. Or I want you right now, but I'm not sure you're ready to provide. They want to have you on the back burner. And it makes sense, Pikachu. Like, well, I didn't say no. Why would I say no? Why would I want to burn that bridge? He's handsome. He has some trait I like. He's still figuring things out. I don't have to tell him no. And my take is you're a shitty person. You don't have to say no forever, but if you say no, then we both can respect each other's time. So yeah, I just give him 48 hours. Like Alexander Botez, the chess playing model. She turned 30 recently, and I actually like her podcast and stuff. I think the chess women are all very intellectual, and right on the fringe of the type of personality I find attractive. Most of the chess women, Alexander Botez being another example, because they are what I would consider feminists, but they don't hate men. In chess, some women have had situations where it wouldn't be unreasonable to be a little bit bitter towards men. But still, they're pretty dominating and they're pretty capable. So they're right on that edge where I start to lose interest. But like Alexander Botas turning 30, it's got nothing to do with her being 30. It's got everything to do with me not knowing her when she was younger than 30. And when I was single again during COVID, I hit on her via social media, of course, and she didn't reply. Well, yeah, she didn't know me, so I wouldn't blame her for not replying. Still, she is written off of my list forever because she didn't reply. Not because I would have replied if I were her or I would blame her, simply because it's not worth my effort. It's not worth my time. Also, look at this YouTube shit. Look at showing up to a chess club at an older age. Take dating as a game, yeah. Well, you can go into game theory now. But it took a lot for me to get out of my shell, and I strongly believe had I not gotten out of my shell, played chess, sang karaoke, I'm very introverted. I didn't really know I could sing, and I think I can sing a little bit now that I've gotten out of my shell. But to associate with a girl, spend much time with a girl, or consider her as a wife who played it safe, that would risk me going back into my shell. And like Naroditsky's overdose, I'm not saying that was caused by him being afraid or not having fight in him, because obviously he's very intelligent and competitive. But for my personality, I think it's risky that I go into like a very dark path if I don't do things to get out of my shell. So to be associated with a woman who is hesitant for whatever reason, whether it's my fault, her fault, whatever, it's my fault, fine, I'll learn for the next one, but you're gone. It's just for me, so I don't digress. And during COVID lockdown, I think if I would have played it too safe, man, I would be really screwed, messed up my life probably permanently. But now that that called out stuff is kind of gone, it might get more normal. Because men had a lot of fears. You send one girl a message, she reposts it now on the T app, which still is a big deal, the T app. Man, Jelly Roll had like fucking 20 felonies or something, and he's a pretty good husband. His wife loves him. He's not abusive or anything. Sometimes those are the best guys, just like if a domestic abuse victim as a woman has worked through her stuff, sometimes she can be a lot more understanding and kind. But that T app is just ridiculous. And I think too many women, even if they don't participate in that, they just allow it or they even listen to it. And I figured if that called out stuff continued, women would eventually have to approach men, because there's no relationship that's worth me getting blessed on a T app and then losing my job or being known as like a rapist or something, which it's all it takes is a woman's words. Last point on this rant. We talking about love. I'll do a fucking talk show. Not really. I'm not going to do that. But women should understand. That's true. Drugs may be the cause of death, but something has to be the cause of drugs itself. Yeah, there's a lot of things, and there could be multiple factors. But men don't matter if we don't make money, if we don't have a following, something that is not just like our looks. Women can matter with only their looks, and they can even be loved for only their looks. Women will never understand what it's like to be a man. I think if a lot of women were a man for one day, even the nastiest feminists, and not all feminists are nasty, would tone it down. Women do not understand, and they don't really want it. They don't really want equality either. But I don't listen to Andrew Tate. I know about what he thinks because he's got a lot of clips, and I do support his right to speak. I don't like him being banned. So I know what the manosphere is. I know what Andrew Tate stands for. And though he doesn't always say it like super kindly, one, most women don't find Andrew Tate unattractive or the traits he exhibits. They can say whatever they want. Feminists can say, no, we don't like that. Andrew Tate's an asshole. They might not always like him, but men being overconfident, having an ego, women do like that. And what Andrew Tate says that all women should listen to, because it's a fair argument, is, did you want a man? I'll give my example. I didn't have a referral during COVID lockdown. I just went from corporate tech to being jobless during a pandemic, and my nice new home, which you can see on Facebook with me having pictures, my dog's in the backyard. All of a sudden I'm in a hotel. What's my life going to look like? Spending all my savings just to get back on my feet. Now I'm a YouTuber. Well, can he provide for me? She was even healthy. He's said some things about his mom. They're fighting. Well, yeah, because my mom kept, every time I went to play chess or did my YouTube streams, I didn't have anyone to be proud of me anymore. And she was initially calling psychologists and second opinions. When I went to see a psychologist, it was terrible. Tried to get me to go to a facility in Orlando. She had it booked because I was doing the YouTube streaming. Conservative family, and I went to college, was doing well, and worried her to death. So now I don't have that great relationship with my mom, at least from the outside looking in. Okay. Does a woman with options who is, let's say, 24, smoking hot, intelligent, good family, doesn't want any family drama, and I'm a YouTuber that's causing some arguments within my friends and family circle, am I going to be her first choice, even if she finds me attractive or thinks I have potential? Is she gonna date me over a guy who is an engineer? He's 33 and can provide for her right now? No, and she shouldn't. She should choose the best option for herself. Now, on the flip side of that, if the engineer doesn't work out or AI replaces his job 5 years later, now that COVID lockdown's in the past, so that engineer now is replaced by a robot. That robot, let's say, learned to do whatever his branch of engineering is. Congratulations on being an engineer. Bad example by me. But this engineer that's not in your field, different type of engineer, is completely obsolete now due to AI. And he's developed a drug addiction because he can't do what he loves, has developed his own family issues because he played it safe, and turns out he wanted to be a musician on YouTube. And now he regrets everything, and he's a hateful bastard. So that girl is now, what I say, 24. So she's 29. Most women understand at 30. Some men will find them less sexually attractive, so they kind of want to cash in. So she's 30. She didn't want anything to do with me when I was going through my shit, when I was going through TikTok bans, and when I was wondering if I was crazy, getting my ass kicked at chess tournaments by kids, in rare instances getting laughed at. Well, this guy, he's no good. He's not figuring it out. And now I kind of have. Well, let's say I make a lot of money on YouTube and AI replaces everybody that chose the stable route. And now I'm a little bit older. I have better stories. A lot of women like scars. I've suffered. I've dealt cards overnight. I've learned a little bit about being mature and being an adult and not complaining. Like, why should I want, or why should I choose a woman who is 30, who, when she had the options, wanted a guy that on paper was perfect while I was struggling? To paraphrase Andrew Tate's argument, when she was 23 and had all the options, she didn't choose the 22-year-old guy who was struggling, didn't have money saved, had nothing to offer her on paper. Usually those girls would prefer to spend time with the older guy who has life experience, money, and a more stable situation. And I would just encourage women to consider, in the age of social media, you don't know what's real, and to try to date based on character, because it could all change. And I don't see how you can argue against men doing the same thing that women do when they're young and hot. Why is a man wrong for wanting a 23-year-old who isn't as damaged, or not damaged, but hasn't been cheated on, hadn't had sex with many guys? I don't think men are wrong for that either. I think everybody cheats. Everybody will. Everybody leaves, but these drugs never will. I know that sounds fucked up, but in the end, it's real. Till I'm lost on a bender, asking myself, can I chill? The scale here would measure 500 pounds of pressure, and the only thing to alleviate is the stash in my dresser. Illuminate the ugly. You're really sure you love me? You deserve to know the truth. Decide now what you think of me. I just want to do these drugs tonight, 'cause I just want to be myself. I forgot how to be myself. I just really miss myself. Somebody asked me, Pikachu. Name that song, by the way. Somebody asked me, what do you have outside of music that really makes you happy? I thought about it, and I ain't had no answer. I'm not on drugs at the moment. I'm very tired after work, though, and I did crap stealing school today or yesterday, so I haven't slept. Tea made with mixture of plants native to the Amazon River Basin. DMT. That's not. I actually, aside from stimulants to stay awake while I deal cards, and especially if I have chess the next day, I actually play better chess when I don't have stimulants in my system. But sometimes just to make it after work. Now the Narodisky death, I'm serious about this. I'm not big enough, nor am I getting enough views to use that as clickbait, and I would never do that because I lost a friend to suicide. I know Narodisky seemed accidental, but I would never use that for views or money. But it fucked me up pretty bad because I had to make the hard decision to not give my dog away. I never really think I could have. I think if I would have actually drove to the shelter and dropped her off, I would have drove back and begged for my dog back. I never would have got my dog had it not been for COVID lockdown, and we thought it would be a 2-week thing. And I had a new house and a backyard, money saved. So as soon as COVID lockdown ended, we were going to take her to dog training classes, and life would go back to normal. And she had my ex-girlfriend's dog. My ex-girlfriend was a good trainer. That's the only reason I got Nova. But then COVID lockdown, of course, never ended, and I got a dog, and now I'm trying other things, and it's just really difficult. But to not get my dog away, and part of it's my fault. I mean, I spent a lot of money on dog daycare. I should have been more conservative. But I just felt like I had that window to get good at chess, and I also wanted to show my family I had some progress because they, aside from my granny, they weren't loving. Most of them weren't loving my YouTube pursuit. So I really spent too much money on daycare, trying to get going on the YouTube so I could focus. And I mean, that shit's expensive. And I'm like, man, if I just gave my dog away, and I was 26 at that point, so I'm like, man, that's best years of my life. Most energy, best physical years, best mental years. And I got this dog and I can't sleep. I can't go to the chess club, but I decided I wasn't going to give up on my chess pursuits. Chess.com wouldn't reply to my application, so I had to deal cards. I decided I'd rather overdose on drugs than to give up on either. So dealt cards at night, abused stimulants so I could make it to the chess club during the day, take care of my dog, ended up addicted to online chess. But aside from stimulants, to stay up while I deal cards, because it's so easy. As long as I'm awake, I won't err. I don't mess with drugs much. All right. Some people don't share too much, which is probably a wise thing. I definitely said a lot that can be used against me, but I don't really care. And I don't really know how one could make it as a content creator without being super open. If I don't say it, AI might create a fake video of me saying things that aren't true. So if I ever say something that's too revealing or uncomfortable, I'll just say fucking robot. Dayton clone said it, and I don't know who he is, or I can't claim any of his words. It's times we live in. Why would I be mysterious when we could get hacked? There could be an AI version of me trending on TikTok right now. And the worst part is, until my generation is old enough to get into leadership, politics, corporate America, the people regulating it will have the attitude, well, everyone's using it. So, it's not my job to fix it. It's my job to play the system. So there will be no regulation. And if there is any regulation, it will be 60-year-olds who don't even really know how to use Gmail, let alone debug code, let alone understand AI and machine learning. So it's going to get out of hand. Why not just, if we're going to try to be a content creator, go overboard and share? When everything's about to be a shit show anyway. And it absolutely is. I'm going to log off. I just wasted a lot of time, but when I think of how much online chess I played for a lot of the last 4 years, I still have like 6 more hours in my morning than I usually would. And that's fabulous. That's fabulous. Pikachu, please subscribe, man. It was great talking to you. Thanks so much, Pikachu. If you were captured with a Pokeball, I'm amazed because you're worthy of a great ball. And with that, Pikachu, I bid you good night. If there's a thunderstorm, well, that's your domain. So don't run from it. Just grab a blanket and get a good night's sleep. All right, Pikachu. Yep. And just change your name to Raichu. You don't even need a thunderstorm. On YouTube, in the real Pokemon game. That won't work. All right, we'll see you, man. All right, I'm going to get off here. I am learning to deal craps, which will take 5 weeks. It's a pretty complicated but fun game. I'm very tired, and I won't play online chess at all aside from doing puzzles for those 5 weeks. And then I might return. I might just say fuck it and quit. So if you're interested in my chess journey, check me out on chess.com. All my games are logged there. YouTube, most of my better content is on YouTube. So there's some videos to hold you over. And I will be back on the lives probably in 5 weeks.